Good morning, guys. Today is part B of episode 4. I was pretty excited. Today's the day I get the boat surveyed, and timing was kind of tight with the rainstorm, and I just got to the boat and it's raining. So I have a really good surveyor. I used him once before, Morman. I'll put the information for him down in the comments, the description rather. If you happen to be in the Great Lakes area, I highly recommend Morman Surveying. Matt did an exceptional job last time, and I expect the same today. Not worried at all. But anyway, we're going to do what we can do, and I think he's going to come back a little bit later in the week when it's dry to do the moisture reading. So let's check this boat out.
Since it's been raining, we started in the cabin getting electrical systems at least up and running. I turned on the batteries. We want to have shore power attached to the battery charger and allow the batteries to have a fair shake after we are running systems. We'll then load test those batteries at the end of the day and see how systems are charging and if you have any bad batteries. So at this point, we're going to look at the exterior of the boat and allow those other systems to catch up and get as many soundings in as we can in between the periods of rain.
Perfect. Sounds great. Let's go check it out. Okay, Matt, so what have we found?
Well, the boat's a very solid boat. We have good sounds throughout the bottom. We have some areas at the trailing edge of the keel and at the leading edge of the keel that have a little gap showing, but that's not, it's nothing that's outside of normal limits.
Excellent.
We had one crack on through hull on the port side, and then our rope rail is shown, a few hits, and is starting to separate in a couple of areas.
Gotcha.
So we have the other side's a little tougher, a couple of cracks. So those areas are going to need to be repaired and resealed in order to keep the water from coming in where we believe is the source of the water that we're finding near the CD player in
Perfect.
the cabin. So
Very good.
sealing that should eliminate that moisture.
All right. Take a look at the top side.
Yes, sir. We'll go on the decks and look at the deck and cabin top and check our rigging. Like it's got a little algae or lichens growing in it. It's like the lower thimble eye on the Vang's lock. Should keep an eye on that thing. That could be working its way out of the eye. The whipping's coming loose. You could re-whip that in order to solidify it again.
Okay, Matt, so we've spent about 5 hours on the boat. Can I have a little recap of what you found? And you don't have to go into great detail, but just kind of a summarization.
Yeah, we found approximately 20 to 25% of the deck having moisture outside of any area aft. It was mostly from our boarding gates forward, mostly along the perimeters. Cabin tops were very dry except for where the sea hood bolts over the sliding companionway hatch door. And aside from that, we had very solid, good sounds in our cockpit, good moisture meter readings. Found a little void on the surface of the hatch, but it's no major deficiency of structure. We have a good propane system, but we found a few leaks, especially of water in the propane locker area, and then also at the bilge pump.
But no leaks with the propane itself.
But the propane itself tested, tested well, and we went through that procedure of how to check that every month. Stove lit well. Solenoid safety switch shut it off, so it worked as it should. The procedure is what needs to be followed.
Gotcha.
We found through the interior, we found a loose chain plate bolt at the top of the starboard chain plate. Just one bolt, but you check them all. You just tighten things as you go. We found some wiring questions were kind of figured out, where the sump pump wasn't working for the shower prior, but with the water pressure switch on, the sump pump secondary switch can work also.
Gotcha.
We also went into the battery area where we have a battery charger. It doesn't seem to be working. It wasn't coming on when we load tested it. The outboard battery we load tested said weak right off the bat, while the inboard battery was still good at 12.8 volts static. So one battery is bad, and perhaps the battery charger is bad. Our refrigeration system, we had difficulty getting it to cool, and it does require a seawater pump in order to cool, but the seawater pump does not appear to be coming on either. So that is a question yet to be answered, along with the water heater and our engine be able to run all systems that require raw water. And, until the boat's launched, we can't testify to any of that. As far as the standing rigging went, we had a few that need pins. Pins need to be rearranged in some areas. For the most part, it was in good shape. Single line reefing system we discussed. It had a couple bent dead end bales on the mast that we looked at, and it proved that they were installed 180 degrees out of their proper direction just by their deformation. So all in all, these 30-year-old boat has a bunch of little issues that if I have 45 items on my page, that's 1.5 items a year of issues. And that's the reality of the situation. If you have 1.5 items for every year, you're in decent shape.
Good.
Okay. So
every boat has a list.
Every boat has a list, and keeping up with everything on the list isn't always the most important, but don't discount anything on a list, especially if you're unaware of a situation.
Excellent. All right, guys, so this is Matt Morman. I haven't introduced him yet, but thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, and thanks for letting me film you and putting you on the channel.
Thank you.
Take care. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the survey of my soon-to-be, brand new to me, 1988 Pearson 33-2. Love the Bill Shaw design. My 28-2 was a fantastic boat, and this one takes care of that 5-foot syndrome. and I'm sure she's going to make me happy for many years to come. Again, a great big thanks to Matt Morman from Morman Surveyors. Highly recommend him if you're in the Great Lakes area. His phone number will be in the description below. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and a share. And if you'd like to leave any comments, I'd love to hear from you. So look forward to seeing you in the next video.